Oh, there's one, man.
Dude, that's a giant. Oh my gosh.
Giant, man. Oh,
What was that? We knew that there was big fish in there. It had also been taken over by the smaller fish, and that we needed to help manage it a little bit and take some of those smaller ones out.
oh wow.
There he is.
Yeah,
Good
buddy.
fish. Good fish.
I'm gonna get you over there.
Yeah, let's get over there.
Look at what's in his mouth. Go back and get some food, man. He's looking a little thin.
All by myself.
My will divine took everything to find it. Sweetwater, follow me. I've been through the fires. I crawled under the wires. Come on, Sweetwater. Whoa, been dry such a long time. Come on, Sweetwater, follow me.
That's pretty much, you know, this lake's got some really good grass on it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We've got a bunch of reeds, it looks like, some arrowhead grass. And we saw some fish, you know, hitting some bait right on the shoreline. It's not gonna work.
Tastes good. We did some fish chasing bait.
Yeah.
It's hard, dude. You're gonna break your teeth. This stuff is tough. This stuff is super tough. No. It's like snapping a rubber band.
We had a great opportunity to put our fishing skills to work at a private lake in Alabama. Hayden asked us if we could help him manage the lake by taking some of the smaller fish out to help the big fish, the breeders, survive and thrive.
He said, you know, the thing is there's a lot of small fish in it, but there are some really, really, really nice ones also.
And as far as the accessibility goes, we were a little bit worried about getting the boats out. Putting them in was a cinch, but after we realized that we could get the boats out, we were all about it. We put your boat in the water, and we knew it was kind of a struggle. It was a little bit of a tricky ramp there. You know, it was really, really muddy.
Yep.
And your truck it has 4-wheel drive and all that, but it was still pretty hairy. We got in there, and the boat was sliding off the the trailer just fine, and then you ended up goosing it, and I just saw this wall of mud. I'm like,
Oh man, and I'm looking in the mirror and I just see you crippled up behind the console, just mud slinging.
just like, hey, stop!
Oh no. Yeah, I'm sorry for that one.
Well, that was interesting.
Hey, we got the boat in, and it looks like they're gonna have to buy the boat because we're never getting it out.
Yeah, we're definitely not getting this boat back. We're gonna have to go to a tractor dealer for sure.
Look at my boat.
Yeah, no, this looks great. Look at the Yeti.
This is horrible.
It's great.
Oh,
I love it.
hey, we're in the water. I think part of what the problem was those pigs that were rutting that up. You know, that property had so many wild hogs on it, and we actually saw those hogs out on the point when we got there. I mean, it was pretty amazing to see how they had torn up the banks around the lake, and they had tore up the ramp pretty bad too.
Yeah.
So it was just solid mud. But the most important thing for us is getting the boats in the water. We didn't have to worry about getting them out. Once we were in, we could go do what we love to do, which is catching fish. So that vicious braid cast.
There's one.
Yeah, buddy. Oh, cool.
We were really excited about this lake because, you know, it was another one of their lakes, and he's caught big fish out of there. Hayden said that he's caught a lot of big fish out of there. So, and it looked great. I mean, it had some really cool emergent vegetation. It had some reeds. It had some arrowhead
Huge
grass.
pads, like
yeah,
pads
it had huge pads. I mean, big
like
ones.
garbage can lid pads.
Yeah, and so we knew that there was big fish in there, but he said that it had also been taken over by the smaller fish, and that we needed to help him manage it a little bit and take some of those smaller ones out, you know, like the 14 inches and less. If you don't manage a property, manage a lake, the little fish can really outcompete the larger fish for the same food base.
And you're gonna have a stunted lake.
Yeah, exactly. So you're just gonna have a bunch of little fish. So
yeah, and we care about this lake, and we know that the landowner obviously cares about the lake, so we want to help him with all the the management we can.
Yeah.
and keep this lake healthy and with a good population of big fish.
Pond management thing kind of struck close to home for me because we actually have a lake property in the Northeast in Connecticut, and our lake used to have the most beautiful population of huge smallmouth in it. So when he said that he wanted help with this, I can totally understand where he's coming from.
It hurts, but it's all for management, man.
Yep.
Conservation.
It's all for the better of the lake and the you know, big breeder fish in here.
Oh, there's one, man.
Dude, that's a giant. Oh my gosh.
Giant, man.
Sweetwater is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. And Z-Man.
Oh my gosh. What was that? Oh my gosh.
You had a giant. Oh, that one that waked
Dude,
on your bait?
That was one of the biggest wakes I've ever had. I don't know what that fish was. It was either a giant bowfin or it was a giant bass,
Or
but
an
it
alligator.
didn't. It wasn't an alligator. I'm telling you, there was no alligators.
Dude,
there.
it was
They
big.
don't do that.
Whatever it was big. It was as big as an alligator.
But I think it was a bass, but I really wish we had a shot at that. I even followed it up with a follow-up bait. You know,
Yeah.
I pitched right in there and,
Yep.
and nothing.
That was the weird thing. Once they showed themselves one time, they committed.
None
they
of them
went for
bit
it
again.
None of them bit again. We never were able to follow them up, which is pretty rare.
It is really rare, especially for a private lake, you know, that doesn't get a lot of pressure.
Yeah, those fish were smarter than we expected.
Yeah, that lake was kind of a challenge.
Yeah.
Kind of a challenge.
Oh my goodness, dude. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He yanked on it too, man. I mean, he pulled it down so hard. Unbelievable. That didn't feel like a bass bite I've ever felt.
Dude, I don't know what that fish was. If it was a bass, it was close to 8 pounds. That was an unbelievably big fish.
He moved like 10 feet of pads when
it
he
was
after that.
crazy. It looked like that scene in Godzilla where he's just under the water and just about to come up and just,
Godzilla can swim?
Oh, dude, of course. Godzilla?
You're a little older than me, so I must have missed that.
You're thinking of King Kong, man.
Monkeys can swim, can't they?
I don't know. We both had a bunch of rods rigged up. I mean, we were definitely junk fishing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I mean, in a situation like that, when you're going to a new lake, a new body of water, and you're trying to figure it out, junk fishing is the way to approach it. You know, you've got several different rods, 5 or more different rods rigged up with different types of baits for different applications, and you just kind of figure out where the fish are at, what they're biting. You kind of work, sometimes what I like to do is I like to work at the top first and start working my way down the water column with different retrieve speeds and to figure out where they're at.
There's another one.
Oh.
Is he running it?
There he is. There's a good one.
Yeah, man. Nice.
Nice.
Awesome fish. That was so cool. You played
Come on,
him
buddy.
out, didn't you? That
Come
was
on, buddy,
great.
get out of that grass.
That's cool.
Oh,
That's so.
look at him stuck in that grass.
We'll get you over to him.
Yeah, we got him.
All right, you good?
Got him.
That's cool, man. That was awesome. He was so shallow.
There was one right behind it. Like there's these 2 little pockets here, and that's what I usually look for on a grass line like this. You want those little tiny pockets.
Yep.
And the first cast, right when it hit the water, something moved. And then I started bringing it a little bit further, and all of a sudden I saw this one just nail it.
That's awesome. That was so cool to see. There's another bass one right here.
I think that fish, might let him go actually.
Yeah. I just saw 2 more swim by the boat too.
Yeah, he'll grow up to be a big, healthy bass. Bye, buddy. And we were using, you know, I think I was using a 5/0 extra wide gap.
Super line.
Super line hook.
Gotta have the
you
super
know,
line.
A stronger hook. You want to
Yep.
make sure that it has a really, really strong gauge wire.
Yep.
And
I've made
then-
that mistake before, having
Yeah.
a light wire or just even a regular wire hook with super line with braid. You're in trouble.
It'll bend in a
You're gonna
minute.
straighten them in a heartbeat.
So really strong, really sharp hook.
Yep.
And then I was pegging a 3/16 ounce weight to mine.
And I was pegging the quarter.
You used a little bit heavier,
Yep.
and you were able to get down to the deeper depths with it,
Yep.
and slow roll it, and you were catching some bigger fish that way.
Where have all the largemouth gone?
Oh, big one.
Oh yeah, buddy. Good job, Joey. He's skinny, but I love him.
Get this out of the way.
What a bite. That was so cool. I actually got to see him come and get it.
That's awesome.
That was great. Oh, look at that.
He is skinny.
That was so funny. We pulled him up. You could tell that fish was trying to eat anything he could because he couldn't compete with those little ones that were taking over.
He had the beetle.
He had a beetle in his mouth, a water beetle.
Giant beetle.
I was like, I looked at it.
I've never seen a beetle that big.
I was like, is that a crab? And you're like, no. I was like, is that
just
a
like,
what?
we're
shook it out as a beetle.
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
That was
It's
weird.
like a crab.
Yeah, that was pretty weird. A land crab.
Yeah.
A little freshwater crab. No, it was a water bug. I've never seen a bass actually eat a water bug like that, but that was pretty cool. It just goes to show what kind of predators bass are. What a great bite. Thank you, fish. Go back and get some food, man. You're looking a little thin. Sweet, that was fun.
Sweetwater is brought to you by Yeti Coolers. Wildly stronger keeps ice longer. Buff and Costa.
You know, these lakes can actually come back to a balance all on their own. You know, nature finds a way. That's the great thing. I'm not a big proponent of ever adding anything to a lake to bring it back to a balance. I think taking something away, you know, like weeding out the small fish, I think that's a great way, but you never want to add some other species, in my opinion. You don't want to add another species to try to balance out another.
Normally that
another
backfires.
one. But the thing that happens is when you reach that critical point where you've got too much biomass in a lake, you'll actually, when it gets cold and the oxygen level goes down during the winter, you're gonna have a fish kill.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's gonna bring balance back to that lake. But a lot of times it takes a lot more time. Okay, so you're talking about a decade instead of you know, taking fish out and being able to manage that in a year or two.
Yep.
But it will come back to a balance. You just have to wait and let nature take its course. Oh, did you see that?
No.
I don't know what it was, but it just came flying. It looked like a giant gizzard shad. There we go. There you go.
Yeah. Finally on the
Nice.
slow roll, man. Finally on the slow roll. That's awesome.
What do you think about that one?
That was cool, man. Not a giant again, but hey, that was fun. He wasn't going anywhere. Him stuck good. You know, I think that's another one of those management fish.
Yeah,
You know, it's kind of
I think so too.
long, skinny, about 14 inches.
I think so too. That's a good candidate.
Yep. Nice fish, Miles, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he's big, but I don't even know if he's still there. Oh, he's still there.
Yep, there he is.
Oh, he's a giant. He's a giant. Oh, yeah.
Up top. Yeah. Yes. Woo. Oh man, that's guaranteed. That's that big one that hit you earlier.
Yeah, that's that one that pushed the whole
That's the one that ate that
whole field up.
That's the one that ate that 3-foot diameter lily pad earlier.
Oh, he's going in the well. He's going in the well.
He's getting eaten for that beating he put on you in those pads.
In Florida, when I learned how to fish Florida, we started using these D-man grass kickers. They're real slender. They're not like your traditional like trout swim bait, big swim bait that you see somebody throwing in California or at Guntersville or something like that. It's a real narrow bait, real slender, has a little paddle tail on it. It creates a little bit of vibration. It does want to kind of, you know, wobble a little bit.
Yep, but it's
and
still
it comes,
subtle.
Yeah, it comes through grass really well. It can create a little bit of a wake.
Yep.
And it's just a great bait. It looks just like a bait fish running through the grass.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it's meant to do. You know.
And where we were, it was perfect. You know, the color selection, we had perfect bluegill colors. You know, those bluegill imitations are just prime on a body of water like that, on a small body of water.
Yeah.
And you pick that thing up, and they were eating it pretty good. I mean, that was awesome. And I haven't done that a whole lot. You know, growing up in Washington, we don't have a lot of grass lakes like that. Those techniques we were using, like that grass kickers, and that's something that I would love to take back to some of the lakes I used to fish as a kid and just go hammer them. I mean, you start thinking, you start piecing it all together when you fish around the country of how you can use that bait in another state or another lake, and it's pretty exciting to think about it.
It's a great versatile bait, and I've used it and made a lot of money in tournaments on it.
Yep. We came around that bend, and you saw it, that beautiful beaver hut over there in the corner, and it was like, all right, first person that throws a
it was
grass
super
kicker in
skinny there too.
Yeah, it's super shallow water, and you just knew first person to hit that thing with the grass kickers was going to catch one. I'm going to get you over there.
Yeah, let's get over there. Oh my gosh.
Did you see him come like that?
Dude, that's a nice one.
He just waked off that beaver house. That was awesome.
Oh,
Yeah. Solid fish. Beautiful. Oh. Come around the motor.
Whoa.
He's mean.
And I won
And you
it
drilled it, man. You
right
hit it
in there.
Perfect.
And then all of a sudden this wake just went.
Yeah. A huge V. The water just parted, and that fish is whoa.
That was a huge wake. I thought
amazing.
it was going to be like a 5-pounder, and
and it was a nice fish.
Yeah, it was a quality fish for sure.
Not as big as it looked though. It's amazing how they can surprise you when they come up on a bait like that. I mean, they look a lot bigger than they are sometimes.
I thought it was a beaver, to be honest with you.
You thought a beaver slapped its tail right on that grass
Honestly,
kicker.
I thought it was a beaver protecting its hut, its home. Woo! Still got some life to him.
That was cool.
Sweetwater is brought to you by Hook, Vicious, Dead Vicious, and Power Pole.
Oh, there's one, man.
Oh my God, dude, that's a giant.
There's another one chasing it.
Oh my gosh.
There's another one chasing it. The same size. No way, man.
Oh, that's a pig. That's a pig.
Look at the mouth on that
Don't jump, don't jump. You were just casting out in open water. I was fishing the edge, and we were almost done. I mean, this was literally one of our last casts. And then you made that cast towards
behind
the deeper
you.
water. Yeah, just straight perpendicular
Right
out.
on that little point.
And
Slow rolled it with that little heavier weight, and that fish lit it up big time.
yeah, you said you were hooked up, and I'm just like, no, you're not. And then I look back, and this thing jumps out of the water, and I was like,
man.
oh my gosh, that's a giant, because it just had this huge mouth on it.
Giant head.
And it was just, you could tell it was kind of skinny, but it was a huge fish nonetheless.
And I got it up to the boat, and the crazy thing is,
There was another one just the same size, and I saw it,
Twin.
and then I was just like, because I was about to lip your fish, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I was having
trying
a
to eat
battle
the
in my
grass
own
kickers
head,
off
like,
the
should I get my rod and like stick it in there and catch the other one, or should I get his
oh, I
fish?
better just slip it. And I'm glad you did, because I had actually, that fish's mouth was so big that the hook was just in the skin in the back of his mouth.
barely hooked.
Very easily could have tore out. So I appreciate you lipping him for me when you did.
Almost went for the other fish instead of your fish.
I probably would have went for the other fish. That was dumb on your part.
Yeah.
Man, what a fish, dude. What a day.
Talk on, man. That's awesome. That's what we came here for.
Helping nature and catching big bass.
That's awesome.
What an awesome fish.
Beautiful fish. We'll put her back.
Again, that makes you really, really happy and glad that you did, that you helped him manage the lake just to, preserve that fish. If that fish doesn't get a meal in the next, who knows, the next year, that fish could die really, really easily. And you don't want to be losing big females like that just because you didn't take the time to manage the lake.
A 6-pounder like that can lay a lot of eggs.
Yep.
And
those are the genetics you want.
and especially if it was healthier. If that fish was healthier, it would have been an 8.
Oh yeah, easy. Yeah, we were like,
it would have been an 8.
that was a donkey. It was
Yeah.
long and mean. I filled the boat pretty good with mud getting in the lake, but we decided that it was probably a smart decision to get the tractor man to come get us out of the water.
We had to call the tractor.
I'd had my mud for the day.
Yeah, and that dude came down. It was just like this huge tractor. You know, the tires
yeah.
were like taller than us. You know, and it's just like, yeah, this is gonna be awesome. And he comes down. It was just right. You know, he had the Bass Pro Shops hat on. He was ready to go. He's just like, all right, let's do this. You know, and he hooked us up and it went super smooth.
Yep.
I mean, no problem at all. I mean, no mud flying at me. It was just beautiful.
Yeah, he hopped out. He hopped out with a 40-year-old Bass Pro Shops hat on.
Yeah.
He was ready to go, and he was ready to help. I think you could tell he's probably pulled out a bass boat or two.
He's done that before.
He was right on.
He was a seasoned veteran.
He was a
veteran.
He was a seasoned boat pulling veteran. Man.
Veteran, yeah.
It was pretty cool to see the nitro getting towed out by a giant green tractor.
Yeah.
It was that was an experience I'll never forget. That's for sure.
That was pretty cool.
It's amazing the amount of fish you're actually supposed to take out. I mean, it's kind of mind-boggling when you think about it, but it really, I mean, you can take out 60 fish a day. If you're not having people help, we could have taken out a lot more.
Yeah, we could literally take 60 to 100 fish out of this lake today, and it would help tremendously.
And bottom line, fish are on this earth to eat.
Yeah.
if you manage it properly.
Yeah.
These fish are good eating, man.
Yeah.
We found that out firsthand with our little fish fry.
Dude, that fish fry was a lot better than I thought it would be.
We filled up the Yetis and went to filleting.
Dude, those, that was a lot of fun. I haven't filleted a bass in a long time. I mean, I fillet all kinds of fish all the time, but for bass, I haven't had a cooler like that full of bass.
We were a pretty good team there, man. I was battering them up, filleting them, battering them. You're down there with the fryer, just stirring them up, getting them all fried.
That was so much fun. It was delicious.
We were a mean team. That was good. And we got to eat it hot. If you're gonna do a fish fry, you got to do it hot.
Oh yeah, we had everybody just picking right off
of the plate.
Right off the plate, man.
Yep,
right as soon as they came off, it was awesome. Just kind of enjoying ourselves. We had the ramblers going; they were full, and just keeping everything cold. It was unbelievable. Great night, and it made it fun. It made the management fun, and we had a great meal. It was just, what more can you ask for?